Okay, we're live.
Okay. I
Hold on,
see a
hold on, hold
thing
on,
here.
hold on, Dan. Hold on, Dan. Sorry, sorry.
You got it. We're live?
Yes, we're live.
Hey, that was a pretty cool little thing.
Yep, yep.
Thank you. Hey, Dexter, put this, give me 30, 40 seconds. I'm not going to go. People, we make the videos of all the prophecies that have disrupted a lot of lives and still continues to disrupt and been disrupting lives for years. A lot of the portions of the prophecies that you see that we post, those videos were made years ago. Like Dexter with the time of indignation, that was 6 years ago. A lot of them, they go back as far as 10 years and recent events. And so we're going to go live uh, with Donald Trump Jr., Elon Musk. You guys send them my videos on X. They follow me. Elon Musk wants me to call him. Yeah, right. Like I give you the privilege. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, um, so Dexter, when me and Dexter do this every week, this used to be a large call. At one point, before we were video call, I'll say 2017 and 18, we were on conference calls like on the cell phones. I don't own one, but Robin does and everybody else. And we used to go and have conference calls every week, 15, 20 people. And all this stuff is me and Dexter. Might as well shut this off now because the things I'm going to say now are going to piss a lot of people off. But because you don't believe the Bible. He told you what would happen in these days. He told you what would happen and who he would send and the messengers he would send and the elect he would send. But you don't believe that either. You all have your own walk and your own thinking. And between you and God, yourself, and Jesus Christ, you're just going to walk through this. And that's not what your Bible says. So I'd like to introduce my brother Yuri, who's in Hawaii, in the water. And I am Gabriel, just outside north of Boston on the land. You don't like that, do you? Well, you'll know them by their works. If you haven't watched the videos and seen hundreds and hundreds of prophecies linked together going like this without any interjection of me or Dexter talking and giving our opinions or ideas, but straight reading with events. Now, many of you see it, and we know me and Dexter, we just are blown away at our Father and the amazing work he's doing through these prophecies. And so anyway, Dexter, me and Dexter's going to talk like we normally do, and you guys will get some understanding, especially those who used to be close to us, who I told you would all, by coming towards the end, you would hate me. You would all take off, and some of you would even want to kill me. And that's the truth, and you know it. And I'm sending the video to some of you because I understand it has to be that way. You all have to walk your own walks. Nobody was ever supposed to hang around with me forever. I came screaming, Babylon is fallen, Babylon is fallen, Babylon is fallen. More than 10 years ago, I began that work, showing you how to get clean. And we're going to get into prophecies in a minute. Now, we're going to touch on a few things. I don't even know where this is going. This is non-scripted. Father said, do it, so I'm doing it. Let them see who's making the videos and tell them the truth and get rid of everybody. And a few to stick around and keep watching, well, those are his. And that's what we're here for. Sorry to offend you. It's not our intent. We just come to do the work that we're sent to do, and that's it. So, Dexter, the other day, as I was watching Beverly Hillbillies, I watched Beverly Hillbillies, Leave It to Beaver, and Andy Griffith nonstop. I don't watch anything else. I don't watch YouTube videos. I don't watch anything. And Father says, hey, son, Google British Petroleum. Why is British Petroleum closing all their stations? I didn't know they were closing their stations. So I Googled it. And British Petroleum is closing all their gas stations. They're selling them off. The convenience store gas stations, they're getting rid of them at a rapid speed now. And for those who don't know and haven't watched the videos and don't understand this, the leopard body on the beast in Revelation 13 is is the Persian leopard. There are leopards. I got a beautiful brother, Pastor Paul, does some great work on YouTube. And I've heard him say that before. There's no leopards over there. Yeah, there are. It's called a Persian leopard. Iran was Persia in 1935, started petitioning. In Vienna, Austria, it's where all your countries, your states, your counties, you're all incorporated. Your corporations over there. And they petitioned to change the name of their corporation from Persia to Iran. You see, they hide the provinces. They try to hide all the provinces. We'll touch on those who are in the Northeast or all up in the Northern Hemisphere of the United States. We'll get into that somewhere in the conversation about the lies of that fire. Well, it exists, but the things that happen and why that sky was so eerily apocalyptic, dark yellow. But anyway, yeah, British Petroleum's closing. Now, here's the kicker. They started closing in 2024 and selling off before anything ever happened. Why? Because they know that they're getting rid of the petroleum industry. They got to start pushing you into EVs, everything electric. And they're using hydrogen at Tesla stations, separating water. They're charging your cars for free. Hydrogen systems using water. And the byproduct, when it's done, it returns to water and they just keep redoing it. It doesn't cost anything and they're making a fortune. But they're squeezing you into their new world order that's already at the door. But they started selling up in 2024, Dexter. I'm reading, I'm going, okay. And then now that there's an oil shortage, there's this and all that garbage with hummus and
the Straits of Hormuz, straight trash. It's a lie. They don't need the oil. They don't need it. China doesn't need oil. China doesn't even operate off oil.
And we're on the way. And all of Europe is flying. See, they started it, closing them, because the EV market was going, and people do think, and they put the fear, and you knew the things were coming. Some people bought them earlier and paid a fortune. Now they're cheaper. Now you got people driving around $120,000 Teslas they bought a few years ago, and they're going for what, 60 or whatever now. But whatever the case is, so they're putting you into all this. But Iran started England, the lion's mouth on the leopard's body in Revelation 13, that seven-headed beast. It's British Petroleum. It's all Iran has ever produced. It's the only one. They are not ExxonMobil. Russia is ExxonMobil, or Exxon Plus, along with a few of the Saudi Arabian countries and things like that. But British Petroleum is solely Iran. And that coup that they did in 1953 with their elected president and took the people out, and the people got pissed. Wouldn't you be pissed if they came and took your president out that you elected? Well, you did that to them over there, Americans.
That's coming. That's coming. That's
coming.
Yeah,
you're going to get your turn, people. You double everything you ever supported, and you're supporting it now. And if you don't support it and you're on the opposition side, you're still on the wrong side. Maybe we'll get into that. We're not on any side. We're not against anybody. The prophecies say these things will happen. I'm all for Trump. Go get it, brother. Go for it. Let's do it. Xi Jinping, it's all going to go into his hands when America goes down. When? At the end of Trump's 42 months in Revelation 13. How do we know this? We know this because it tells you in Daniel that Messiah will be taken out of the way, and then a flood will come. So immediately after, people, you're going down. Today is July 25th or 24th of 2026. So we're coming into the Feast of Trumpets and the Feast of Tabernacles. September 11th this year, 9/11 this year falls on the first day of the feast, or night. Coming into the Feast of Tabernacles, not in the Feast of Trumpets. The towers went down exactly 25 years ago. It's his 25th anniversary. They're not talking about that. But you just had your 250th anniversary. But nobody took the warnings of the Most High in his 250th anniversary. when
Right.
you were
That's two
celebrating
seven.
your, huh?
I said
What's
that's two
that?
seven. I said that's two sevens. The 25th and the 250th.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start exactly. So we got you got a mile marker coming up. Your final mile marker. You got 2 miles left. Let's call each mile a year. This mile marker this year for the United States, you got one left next year, and that's the end of you after that one coming up into 2028. Ah, he's nuts. Well, when it happens, then you'll see how crazy we are. Okay. Um, Before I go any further, uh, I'm going to call you by the names we have now, Father says. So you're real. Can you tell me how you first came across me and how we met, then how you came in, and just the little story and bring them up to date so they know, who's this black guy and white guy spread halfway across the globe, one on land, one on sea.
Right. Yeah. Before I even moved to Hawaii, that was in when I was living in Miami. I came across one of your videos while I was in GOCC. Um, and I vaguely remember reaching out to you before I even came to Hawaii, and I was like, um, I reached out to you, and I was like, who's gonna be? I remember asking you. I remember telling you that I was moving to Hawaii. I was moving to Hawaii, and I was like, who's gonna set up a church? And then you was. I remember you saying it was gonna be you, brother. I remember that. I vaguely remember that before I even moved to Hawaii. But yeah, I remember reaching out to you. But I first saw your videos. I first saw a video of you, and it was about testimonies. It was about testimonies. I remember watching Elder Rakaz's videos before I was a leader in GLCC, and then I came across your video. It was like the same night. It was like the same night. Elder Rakaz was saying, "Oh, we need to go back. We need to go back to our youth and remember some of the things we did to each other." And then I saw that at the same night I saw your videos, and you were talking to a group of people about doing testimonies. And that's after that, that's when I reached out to you.
Okay. And we've been, and after that,
But this
we
was
went
like
on.
what 2000, this was like 2015. I think it was
Yeah,
2015.
I know exactly when it was. I told you you had 2 children too during that call, and I told you a couple things about your life. I do remember that. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, it was a pretty cool call. Came out of nowhere. Back then, I used to get hundreds and hundreds a week from people
All
around the
right.
world. It's crazy. I'm glad those days are over. Um, Now it's just a few. I'm here for Elon Musk. I'm here for Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. I send them the videos. They appreciate them, but I don't send them anymore. They're on X. They jumped on me immediately because I went right to them and sent them the videos that pertain to them. The angel with the key to the pit and a lawless one. And Donald Trump Jr. got a few so he could see what Dad and his buddy were up to. And so they all know that I'm here and that we know what's going on and we're on the game. So that's where that stands. I'm not on X. I loaded it with a bunch of videos and signed up, and that's the end of that. Dexter, there's all kinds of hurdles and all kinds of problems with the prophecies because the prophecies don't fit anything that people were waiting. Where's the Pope so far
Right.
in all these prophecies?
Right.
Where's
Yeah,
the Pope?
he's not
He's
even
not
on the stage. He's not even on the stage,
And the Gathering of Christ Church
of
is the
prophecy.
Gathering of Christ Church. It is the Gathering of Christ Church. But they've been learning and growing like everybody else. The elect have never been perfect. The elect hate white people, some, ISUBK and others.
Right.
House of Israel. Just different groups have different levels of hatred or different levels of love and acceptance and everything in between. Because this is needed. Because there's all kinds of people in the world that are lost. So people who want to hate white people, they get a place to go to get started in studying, and you learn the good stuff from them. Yes, the way they hate. But when you keep studying, because they early on, when they show who they are and different things, they're disrupting the worldview and showing that these people that are on a piece of dirt they named Israel, which was the land of Judea. Israel's a man's name, Jacob. It's not a piece of dirt, but they reduced it to that. But they bring out all good things, and then from there you go on and they grow into other groups. And the Gathering of Christ Church came out of one of those large groups in Philadelphia, the Church of Philadelphia. Imagine that. How literal is the Bible? Come as a child. It's totally good. Intellectuals and theologians, you need to take that and shove it up your butt and knock your crap off. He said, come as a child, it's right in your face. Church of Philadelphia. Now he's learning, and he hates us. Well, he doesn't hate us now. He wouldn't say that ever again. But he was very clear when he attacked me and all the people around me that were in his church, who I told to go to their church, some of them, who I told to take their academy, and they were the place to go. And then they turned around and came on me and hated my guts and called me Jim Jones, and to this day refused to repent. And there's a reason for this. Hey, Dexter. Forget it. I was going to say get the video on the Black Lives Matter thing. And Ezekiel, what is it? Isaiah 1-3. But don't do that. People are going to watch it at a time. You see, people, you're all filthy. Elder Rashad, too, annoying. There's nobody, as it's written, none without sin. All money changes. We're all raised to respect money. We're all raised to understand we need an education to make money. We all understand to have a nice car, you need money. In fact, they put a little wording on there, in God we trust. And everybody takes that as something, I don't know what, but they're putting in your face, people, your one world religion is money. And now they're taking that money away. And your one world religion is self-indulgence, pride, gay pride, black pride, white pride. And you're all saying you're not going to worship an antichrist. You already do. You worship another God. Your one world religion is here. And nothing in that book, when it's talking about the children of Israel, has anything to do with the people sitting on a piece of dirt called Israel. It's about the children of Israel. It constantly says it. You have turned your back on me, he says. You don't know me. When everybody says, oh, I do, but it's the other ones. It's always the other guy. And he's talking in these prophecies. He keeps saying in them, in the last days, in the end times, they shall. In the end, you will. And you say, but not me. I've always taken the blind, naked, miserable, and poor in the book of Revelations literal for me. Every time I thought I might know something, I was a little smile. I reminded myself continuously, I'm blind, naked, miserable, and poor. I don't know nothing. If he's telling you you're something in there, and I'm guilty, and so is Dexter, of everything in these promises. We realize it and know it as they unfold. I just am lost why you can't just accept the fact and love correction, especially those who are close to us, because we love you and we hope that you'll find your way through this. And we'll never give up on anybody. And we'll never stop till all the prophecies are open. And they will be. All of them? You bet. I could open them all almost now. But we have to wait for the events. So, where you're sitting, people, let's talk about, some have seen the videos, but just in real talk between us, because we don't say anything in these documentaries mostly. Dexter, where did this synagogue of Satan come from? Who started this? How did he start it? And all that. And what is it today? And where is it? Because this is Dexter's game. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to smoke. That'll piss you off, too. Oh, he's not from God there. Okay. I'm here for the smokers. Damn.
Well, the U.S. Capitol is Solomon's Temple. The synagogue, that's actually the synagogue of Satan. What people don't realize is the American presidents, all the presidents, they knew back in the days. The world today just doesn't recognize it. Church and state was never separated. They would literally worship the presidents back then.
Absolutely. Solomon had 700 wives. Solomon sinned. Unbelievable. You'll say with all the prophets, I'm scum, I'm dirt, I'm filth. Me too. I mean, okay? I got bigger problems than this.
All right.
You got bigger problems than this. Right. Looking at a girl's ass and then saying she's 14, 15, or 16, and then talking about Jeffrey Epstein and judging him, and you're going to judge yourself by that same measure down the road. But you forget. Well, he did it. Yeah, and it says in the Bible, that's why he told you. Just look, you did it already. So who are you to judge Jeffrey Epstein and be screaming at the clouds? Give me the files in your brain of your filth. I've done mine. I'm not going to get into this video. Dexter driving around in his Jaguar, thinking he's somebody. We're guilty of everything. And we're sorry. But he had all those wives. And that's what you got is Solomon's Temple. It's built on 7 hills. Capitol Hill is built on 7 hills. Everything is a lie. Even the geography and the maps and who they say is who and what people are what people. Don't you see everything's a lie? The angel will rise up out of the east. I'm on the East Coast. It says that the leader of the elect will pop up, and the elect will pop up out of the East Coast of the United States. The East is not the Middle East. East is China. Okay? So when you're reading the prophecy, it says they come out of the East. Well, that means they either come out of China or somewhere else that's in the East. But they're in the Middle East. They're not in the East or the West. They're in the middle of what the map that they've drawn today.
Yeah, Donald Trump reading scripture claiming to be Solomon. That was this year, right? Like he like blatantly, he's like,
and he told them, and he read it, and he read how they're going to destroy the temple, and they're going to destroy the country, and this country is going to be a byword. The exact word, it'll be a byword, and people are being, oh, why? You know. I'll tell you, my neighbor upstairs, poor girl, she's from a country in East Africa. She's about 50, Beatrice, really nice lady. She was born into a war-torn country from within, you know, in Africa where they're killing each other and killing the poorer blacks. and I hate using those terms, but you all relate to black and white. So they killing these people, killing, murder, right in our front yard, in our house. She was driven out of the country around 2000. She's pushing around 50. In 2000, she was forced to leave and go to Germany. You see, this is how your refugees all come to these countries and to us. They don't race here to get a Mercedes Benz. They're 99% of them are driven out by war, destruction, death, starvation. They didn't have the money to get on a ship and get here or get on a plane. Who paid for it? Country sponsored them. These people were forced into your country. She was forced into Germany. She lived there a few years, quite a few years, and then she went back home. And when she went home, the war kicked up again. And this time they sent her, and she ended up in the United States. She was telling me the story last week. And she ended up in the United States. And she says, now we realize, my screen just blacked out. Am I still here?
Yeah, just we can still hear your audio.
Okay, somehow I blacked out.
Yeah.
Well, they blacked me out.
We can still hear you. We can still hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So she was telling me they forced her out. And I said, you realize the United States, this government and all those countries for minerals or whatever other things and ripping off the people of these countries that are all poor in Africa, which has the richest resources. You understand, I says, that they cause your wars. Oh, we know that now. And she knows it. And her sister, who lives a little bit away, she went away for a couple of days. She came down and let us know, I'm going to my sister's for a couple of days, okay? So don't let anybody in the front door that's locked. I'm not here. And you see people now. You see people, and what this is the beginning of Revelations 18. It's not the beginning. We're deep into it, where the people of the other countries are realizing what the United States has done and all the murder they've committed, all the thievery they've committed. And by her costliness, they've all made money. That's what it says, by her costliness, her debt. And no ones are going to turn and have one mind against the United States. And you are going to be destroyed. So we're coming up into 2026, Feast of Trumpets. Who's repenting from taking part in this money? You people don't want Christ to return. You're praying for peace, many. Many are praying to prolong it so more can be saved. Or whatever reasons you're praying, and the Bible doesn't tell you to pray against these things. He tells you to now come.
He that seeks to save their life shall lose their life.
Exactly. And loving your children more than yourself. And you don't want your children to go through it. You don't want to go through it. You want to prolong it. You're so far into the tribulation, man. Unbelievable. A covenant with many is simply an agreement. Doesn't say it's a peace deal. Doesn't say anything in the book of Daniel about a peace deal. You took the peace in the theology, or whatever people are, and you take some scriptures from the New Testament, like peace, peace, and then comes sudden destruction, and then you tie that into the book of Daniel and make the covenant with many, which will make the land desolate, and somehow put a peace deal in there. And you add it to it because it's not there. But child reads it, he won't see a war in there, but you're a genius. Now, you tied in some other stuff from some other books that you're with. A covenant with many. The biggest covenant you've ever seen. The world stopped. The world stopped in 2020. The entire world agreed to lock down. There wasn't anybody on the streets in Italy, France, Spain, United States, everywhere. I was. I went out every day and took my walk. I had one guy about 6'6". I went, hey, went walking up to him during early days of that. Hey, how you doing? Get away from me! This guy 6'6" started running down the street. I goes, man, I'm bad. But and that's when we changed our name of our channel from Feast of Tabernacles 2019. At the end of the year, coming into 2020, we changed it to Feast of Tabernacles 2027. Why the big jump? Every year, 2017, 18, the channel changed each year. After the Feast of Tabernacles, we would change the name of the channel to the next year. But when it hit 2020, we went straight to 27 because the countdown began. And if you watch the prophecy videos, you see every prophecy that happened. The burning mountain thrown into the sea, that was that tsunami in 2005. I lived in Florida, and I could see the size of the waves. They weren't huge in Florida, but it went around the world. Those waves are moving from the depth, right from the floor of the ocean, right to the top. That's how those waves move. And they move at the speed of a jetliner. Can you imagine being a fish in the sea or any life in the sea, especially in the first quarter part of the earth or third part of the earth that it hit, being hit by a 500, 600, 700 mile an hour, boom, you're just swimming around on you, bam, those fish are dead. A third of the fish died then. All the ships in the ports and the harbors and boats and yachts and you name it, everything, a third of your ships were destroyed. They hid these things. Oh, well, what about the red? Well, we've had what they call red tides for years. I lived right on the ocean back then, 2005, right on the beach. And I was sitting on my balcony looking at the beach at that time within a couple of days of that. And we had a massive red tide like you've never seen. If you've never been around one, boy, you itch and burn and it eats up your skin, it turns you red. But you people, you get your prophecies, but you just don't believe. In this day, they'll believe in God and deny the power thereof. You're all denying. You're in self-denial. But I'm here to tell you, self-denial isn't going to stop it. And if you think camping in your backyard or putting up a tent in your living room is going to do it for the Feast of Tabernacles, playing some half-ass game and celebrating these feasts like, oh, he told me to celebrate them, so we're just going to have a good time and, cook a lamb, and that's not what it's about.
Right.
It's about truly doing the things and coming back to this way of life, practicing this way of life during the Feast of Tabernacles, so you would know how to live. Doug and Stacy, they'll be the first to tell you, you can't live totally off the grid. You can get most, but not totally. And you can talk to a lot of people who are off grid that you watch and that you love on here. I mean, Pastor Dahl, he's not off the grid whatsoever. He's got all kinds of buildings, but he's got building permits and paying taxes and in the system. I don't know. I just don't understand people, Dexter. What do you think? What are you seeing?
So I'm seeing these data centers. Everybody, people, the truthers are starting to bash the data centers, but the truthers don't realize we're the reason and the major need. We're the reason we created the data centers. We need to repent from that.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean we create them?
So all the text we do, all the videos we make, everything like as far as storage, working online, it needs a place to go. It needs a place to go. It's like supply and demand, our constant need, and the people's constant need.
So the data centers are needed because Bobby and John and Beth and Becky and Joni, and just everybody in the world, and anybody will ever see or hear this video. Anybody who comments, they're responsible for these data centers because they need a place to store what they're doing when they're having fun online.
Exactly.
Not just the video makers who like to make videos. Oh yeah, they're feeding it. That's a lot of
Right.
memory, but
Right. It's the
it comes
everyday
down to
person. Text
or the
message.
one who
Text. All of them.
liking a video, taking a picture with your video with your phone,
Sending a
right?
text message, emails, all of that stuff has to be stored somewhere. The world created it. The people of the world created it.
So me and you did it.
Right.
We're doing it right
Right.
now. Me and you are responsible right now for it,
Right.
and we know it. Now you know why it's so hard for me, and I don't like to go live, and I don't want to be the system. I've repented from it, but I'm still here because I have to finish the prophecies in Dexter too.
But
Dexter does a lot of.
we have a plan to walk away. We know we have to walk away, and we're gonna walk away from it.
We're going to walk away, people. It's when do we walk away? Well, I don't suggest anybody take the digital ID or anything else. The mark of the beast is in your heart. The mark of the beast is in your forehead. It's in your mind. It's the side that you're on. It's what you're clinging to. The system, the monetary system, the digital system, making avatars and AI images of yourself for Facebook. And you're all in it so deep. You're totally in it. And you think, well, I'm awake. I'm not part of it. Well, you know something? When do you walk away? I don't suggest anybody, but everybody's going to do what they do. Well, it's not for me to say. In the United States here, when am I walking away? I know as soon as Donald Trump is taken out of the way, I've got weeks at best to get out of Dodge because Daniel says when he's taken out of the way, then the flood comes. And Washington goes underwater and is destroyed, and Manhattan and many other parts of the United States. You're going to get double. Just try to digest that. You're going to get double what you've been doing to Iran since 1953. Yeah, those people under the altar, the ones who must continue a little while longer while the rest of them are killed, that don't fit Christians. Well, the Muslims are evil and they got a different God. Elder Rashad from GOCC, he's still growing, he's still learning. These things aren't for him or anybody to know about us. That's why we're here to open the prophecies and show the mysteries of God, or no more. There's no more mysteries. Oh, they got evil. Oh, it's Allah, and that's evil. Well, you got a Jesus Christ who allows you to take a loan on a car, to take a loan and buy a house. When you're told not to be a borrower or lender, you can do it anyway because you shed some blood and you're forgiven. I don't know what you people are thinking. You don't follow Jesus Christ at all. He says, love your enemies as yourself. That means they hit the towers. Doesn't mean you go bomb them. That means you try to understand where are you coming from? Why did you do this? And then find a way to forgive them. Forgive your enemies as yourself, but you people want to kill them. Feed the poor. Now you want to throw them, get them off the streets. I don't want to pay tax dollars for poor people that got welfare and hungry. Oh, but Christ says, take all your money and give it to the poor. Then follow me, telling you have no money and give it to them. Let them have some money. But you don't follow any of it. You're bastards and reprobates, and you refuse to accept the love of the truth about yourself. Because that's where the real truth lies, is in this truth about myself, building data centers. It's my fault. The currencies and being involved and earning money and being in business over the years and being an employer, I'm part of the system. I always took pride in the fact that I don't take loans. I buy my home cash or I buy my car cash. That's the way I always was. Today, I don't own anything. I don't even own a cell phone. But, you're all going to find your own way. You're waiting for some angels to fly around in the sky screaming with some wings or something. But I've never seen an angel flying around in the Old or New Testament. So I don't know where you guys get that from. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I only say these things, and I've been saying it for years. I'm guilty of everything, and even more than any of you. Adultery, you name it, I've done it all. I won't even get into it. Imagine it, and I did it. So I don't know if this me not being on the camera's bothering people or not. I don't know why cameras are on, it just shut off. But those things always happen with us. So people, basically, if you're in the United States, you better start getting real or not. Stop loving your children and your husband and your wife or anybody else more than yourself by lying to yourself that it's not the end, by hoping it's not the time, by delaying the time and denying the prophecies. The prophecies were not written because, well, back when they were written, like the theologians, you must understand the times and the government of that time. It's what they were writing about. No, it wasn't. If you say that, then you're saying God's a liar, and these prophecies aren't prophecies at all. Because those guys, what you're saying, are talking about the governments of their own day. So we must look at it from that perspective, not literal. Well, if you're looking at it from the perspective then they want prophecies. But today, you're denying the power of God. I personally know that every prophet knew. He was looking at this day. He wasn't looking at Caesar or anybody else when he was writing his prophecies. He was looking at today. He's seen Donald Trump's face.
Right. And at the same time, saying this isn't the end, that's the same as saying Christ isn't returning.
Exactly.
And the people they don't get that. They don't get that frame of mind.
And they don't get that she doesn't believe she'll be a widow. It's talking about every one of you. It's talking about me. Okay? It's talking about Dexter. It's talking about you and me and all of us. And you must look at yourself and see what it is and be honest with yourself. But you're not. I'm protected. I've been baptized in water. Oh, that's a good one. GOCC made a video recently, and it's titled about something about purging your sins by water baptism. You do not purge sins in water baptism. You're not purging anything in water baptism. Purging is fire. Purging is burning.
Right.
Purging is saying,
try like going in the fire.
I like looking at porn with schoolgirl porn, or screw my stepdaughter porn, or I like getting drunk a couple of times a week, and maybe I go a little too far, or maybe I should balance things. You know, whatever it is, I'm not saying anything's bad. I'm not putting down. People can have a beer, do what they. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying, look at what you're doing, realize what you're doing, understand what you're doing, and be honest with yourself. You're not lying to God. He knows the depths of your heart. And you're going to struggle at each phase to cut away from this. I know how hard that is. I haven't been in the store with a nickel in my pocket since 2018. June 15, 2018 was the last money I ever touched that. Mine, finishing up buying land. Yeah, Doc, my neighbor last night, he comes home and he says, so why do you go up there every other Friday and come home the same day? It's 200 miles up and 200 miles back, door to door. Exactly. And he says, why do you do that? Why don't you stay? I said, because we've been going up there every other weekend for 8 years. And it was hard work. Clearing the land, cutting trees, burning off the brush, getting everything out of there, clearing it up, pulling campers on, working on making hydrogen. How are we going to run generators? How are we going to do this? Making hydrogen kits to make our own hydrogen, our own gas from water. How to do biodigester. maybe use that to run vehicles a little bit if we can adapt the car, or do wood gasification. And the great part about all that stuff is, and it was good, and we knew it, and we showed people on videos as we were making these things and doing things, how to do it and how it works. And so you could, because wood gasification was big in burning wood and containing that gas and feeding it through your engine. That was big in France and in a lot of Europe in World War II, gas. And now we end up with a Chevy Volt. Robin got some car come by, got a hit and run. We had a neighbor in the ghetto here jump in the car, chase him down, bring him back. Cops came. He didn't even get a ticket, which I'm fine with that. You know, I don't want to see nobody go to jail. But he hit the car. The insurance company totaled the car. Robin got $5,000, and that $5,000 paid for cash for a Chevy Volt. Well, now that big battery bank we always needed, we don't need anymore. We have a huge one in this car by itself plugged into the system. But we're not even going to need that. Our electrical system now, there's nothing to do, I told my neighbor. We have enough electricity to power half a dozen or more homes, TVs, DVD players, you know. We're not going to be plugged into the system, but things like that. Lights, electric lighting. We have tons of solar, but with electric lighting. And he says, and I told him, I says, and then we're using, this is yesterday, I says, then we're using biogas, biodigesters for gas. What's that? And he had a few beers, so he had a little buzz. I said, it's natural gas. He said, what? I said, you've heard of natural gas? He said, yeah, propane. I said, well, propane is called natural gas for a reason. It's natural. Every city in every state, every town, and even in the outskirts where the population is smallest, somewhere in your area, there is a water treatment plant. Oh yeah, he's a truck driver. I used to haul waste. And I goes from the porta potty, from construction. And I says, so you know, okay, collecting this stuff, it stinks, right? He says, yeah. I said, if you lit a fart right now and I put a match to it, you would get a flame. That's natural gas. Natural gas does not come from fossil fuel. That's fossil fuel made from fossils. This is what you call natural gas. I said, so every time you flush your toilet and you shit, or you throw something in the garbage disposal or do things, it goes into the water treatment plant. And they process it and extract the gas out. And then take that gas that they got from you and sell it to you. That's natural gas. They're ripping you out. You're shitting, and then they sell it back to you at exuberant prices. And he started laughing. I said, it's the truth. That's natural gas. So, you know, this morning I was out there. He'd come out for his cigarette. And the topic came up on the electric cars and stuff. So a bunch of them went by. We got Teslas all over the place here in the ghetto. It's amazing. And I told him, I says, you know, the Tesla stations are charging by hydrogen. He said, what's that? I says, H2O, water? He says, yeah. I said, well, the H is hydrogen and 2 parts oxygen. When you mix hydrogen in the atmosphere together, that's what it is. And hydrogen is the most common element in the universe. The most common element. And the greatest part about it is it doesn't really burn. When you separate hydrogen from the water using electrolysis or lightrolysis, I said, lightrolysis is like the sun. When the sun is beating on the ocean or on lakes, people think it's water evaporation. It's not water evaporation. It's lightrolysis. What the sun is doing is extracting the hydrogen out of the water. And as it rises into the atmosphere, that straight hydrogen mixes mixes with oxygen as it's rising and turns into clouds in the air and goes back to its original form. Hydrogen always goes back to its original. They say, oh, we got water shortages. No, you don't, people. There's no such thing. Hydrogen always goes back to its original form. You drink water, you piss it. Animals drink it, deer, bear, birds. Anything that drinks it, it goes into it, or trees or foliage, it goes into it, these living things. And then whether it's leaves or whatever, the sun extracts the moisture back out or the hydrogen back out into the atmosphere, mixes with the oxygen, you got water again. It continuously recycles itself. Well, how do you explain the dried up Colorado River? Well, that's from damming and that's from doing other things that are wasteful for huge profits. You got a water shortage. They want you to cut back so they can make more money. But they need to waste the water.
Right. That's the weather. That's the weather manipulation.
That's it. The whole thing is a mess.
Yeah.
But Jerusalem is where the children of Israel are. Israel is not a piece of dirt. We'll call it a race of people. The 12 sons or 12 tribes of Jacob, Israel. And wherever they are as God's people, as he chose them, as the most stubborn people, the most rebellious nation, a stiff-necked people. You see, you're the worst. And he says, in the end days, I'll take them and transform them. And I'll confound the world with them. Why? Because you're the worst. And that's why when you're looking at Isaiah and our prophecies and things, you turn your back on it, people. Your God is the Statue of Liberty, the money, the system. You all want your nice homes. You all want your Mercedes or Jaguars or BMWs. You all want a nice home for your kids. You all want to be, and you can't have it unless you honor the God of it, money. You must respect that money. You must honor that money. And you do. And it says in Isaiah, and people will come from around the world to learn from Jacob of their God. Because your God is this freedom you think you have. There's money. You're going to show them the way. I remember when rap first came out, it's all, give me the money, money. They don't have a lot, but you guys talk about it more than anybody. And I'm not saying these things because I'm pleading with you to please look at yourself. It's okay. Nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing wrong. I'm guilty. My brother's guilty here. We're all guilty. Now let's stop with the game. You can live off grid. It's not that hard. Oh, listen, the people 250 years ago would come from, in New York City or some cities were being developed. There was people who died, say, I've had enough of this. He'd go and buy a wagon and a horse or two, get some rakes and a shovel, an axe, get some seeds, a few chickens, a sheep, a couple of goats, put them all in a covered wagon, get his wife and a couple of kids and head out to the west, set up, and guess what? They lived without money, they lived without stores, and there was a lot of people that did. People coming out of populated areas to get the hell out of it.
Right. Moses and the Israelites, when they left Pharaoh, they went to live off grid,
Yeah, they went to the mountain of God, which on the other side of that mountain was where Jethro lived,
which was already off
where
grid.
Moses learned of the God of Israel from Jethro. Right. And Jethro, people, was the root of the Muslims. And he married Jethro's daughter, and so he has half Muslim kids. And they're here today, and you all hate the Muslims. They will call evil good and good evil. You call the Christians who are evil good, because you're the ones doing the killing in the world. It's the Christians here in America and around the world would say, kill him, kill him, kill him. Muslims never started killing anybody, and I'm not sticking up for them. They have an evil God. Yes, they have lies in their religion, just like you have an evil God. You're Jesus Christ who allows you to get laid and repent every other weekend from it. Your Jesus Christ allows you to take out loans and blesses you with cars when you pray for them. When He tells you, "Be not a borrower or lender," yet you say you're blessed by God because of your debt. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And again, I'm going to continue. I'm sorry to offend anybody. I'm just pointing out the truth about myself that I learned over my 63 years. And the truth of myself. Oh, well, but I'm different. No, you're not. None of us are. We're all one. I don't know, Dexter. I guess you can shut this off. Oh, I'll say real quick to all my friends and people, because I guess this is, get Facebook. And are we on Facebook live or where we live?
So we're live on Facebook and on YouTube. There's an issue with the Rumble, but I'm gonna post it up. I'm gonna post it up on Rumble after.
Oh, cool. Rumble's my last thing. Rumble's just a posting place for the videos. You know, when I make them, because I can't get in any other media to post, to upload, and then you take them there. I want to say hello to my brothers and sisters in South Africa who were around years ago, Bangladesh, India, France, Belgium, Stuart Young and Eloise Simmons in England, and many others over there. Just all of yous around the world. I remember all of yous, and I think of all of yous often. And the situations that your countries are in. I know a lot of you are off grid now. And that's the gospel I've been spreading, the gospel of Christ. Get rid of the money, go off grid. That's Christ's gospel. Take on my life, drink my lifeblood, be transformed in your minds by drinking in and taking in my life, not washing it away with blood and sin, whatever that Baal worship is that your people believe, but yet call the Muslims evil. There are those who have the law, and you're bound by the law. But there are those who do not have the law, but by nature do the things of the law. You've all heard that scripture? Go read it close. It's telling you that there are people who never even heard of Jesus Christ, or Yeshua, or Yeshua, whatever name you use, Yeshua. And it says right there that they'll judge you who have the law. Who? Those who don't have the law, but by nature do the things of the law, and are a law unto themselves, and correcting their errors and admitting. You need to go read those scriptures. As it is written, our Father's house has many rooms. And by hating the Muslims, how many of them are descendants of Abraham and Moses and his wife? You think Moses is happy looking down that you probably killed some of his children? These are the ones under the altar that must wait a little longer. These are the ones he is given to make war against and overcome that he's doing now. Along with Christians too, and along with the Israelites too, here in the United States, throwing you in jail, deporting them after they fled their countries because we stripped their countries of finance and they were starving, so they were forced here, or caused wars in their country and forced them here. In 2015, when they were blowing Damascus off the map, remember that? In Isaiah, today will be laid to ruin his heat, will it? Trump declared on January 19, 2019, mission accomplished. And he pulled the troops out, if anybody remembers that live broadcast news that he made. Damascus is a ruinous heat. But you people just Everybody's got the right religion, and you're all buried in lies. Self-absorbed, self-righteous, yet humble. I don't. Can we shut this off and man, you hang out for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm ending it now.